Hi, Siobhan. Good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm good, Eileen. I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. I'm just looking, I've been out for a walk and come in, had something to eat, and I'm realizing in all of this, for anybody who's listening to this on the recording, we're in the middle of the COVID pandemic. And I'm starting to notice the little things that I'm really grateful for in all of this. Like one thing, for any of you who haven't heard, listening to Leo Varadkar on the other night, and I'm actually, for all the things people have said about the government and whatever, I'm so grateful for what Leo Varadkar, for what the government is doing, for Tony Hoolan, what they're all doing for in our interest at this time.
Yeah, I know at school, as I'm a teacher, as I keep saying, but one way we always begin every school day is in my class is by reflecting on what we have to be grateful for that day. I think it's very important to get children thinking about that from a young age, because when we started initially, some of them were saying, "But it's raining,
Yeah,
um, I'm at school. What is there to be grateful for?" But just starting as simply as, how did you come to school? Did you have breakfast this morning? Did you sleep in a nice warm bed? So just simplifying the things that we can be grateful for. And that really, really helps. We start by saying gratitude is the best attitude.
attitude.
And I so believe that.
Lovely, lovely. Something that's come into my mind there, Siobhan, and it's something I would invite a lot of my clients to do. I hold up my hand, and sometimes if you invite people to write down things about gratitude, it's too much. But there's research that has shown if before you go to sleep at night, you go to sleep on a positive note, that you sleep better, but that you wake up better. So what I invite people to do is to hold up their hand, and like the simple things you were saying, say if I'm in bed, I'm grateful for the comfort in my bed. I'm grateful for the warmth. I'm grateful for that I'm in a house, that I'm a roof over my head. I'm grateful for the fact that I had a lovely dinner today. I'm grateful for the fact that I spoke to you before I went to bed, Siobhan. And five little things on your hand. You don't have to write it down, but I think it's such a simple little tool and it can make a difference.
Yeah, that's right, Eileen. And recently, I suppose I would have had some people kind of challenge me and say, "Well, look, you can't be grateful about everything. How can you be grateful about COVID-19?" And no, you can't be grateful about
Yeah.
COVID-19 when it's wreaking havoc and for especially really negatively impacting so many people's lives. But you can be grateful within COVID-19 for the people on the front line, like you mentioned. You can be
Yeah.
grateful for the time that you're getting to spend with people that you mightn't have had before. So it's choosing those things that you can be grateful for. And I remember recently as well, somebody said to me, because we'd had a particularly difficult year in terms of death,
Yeah.
impacted by death, somebody said, "You can't be grateful. Grateful in the face of death, and you can't be grateful about death." And I thought about it and I said, "No, I'm not grateful for death, and I never will be, but I will be always grateful for having had the opportunity to know that person. I was supremely lucky to get the opportunity to spend time with that person. So it's just making that choice. I'm sad about the death, but I'm grateful for the life, and I'm grateful that I was chosen to be with that person. And I'm also grateful for the memories. So in that way, it's a kind of a choice. It is definitely an attitude to be grateful.
An attitude of gratitude. Yeah. And I'm sure in that, and I've seen a lot of it myself in my nursing, loss and death. But I'd say in your school, and I'm not sure, but I'd say it brought people a lot closer together, even the children, even the teachers. I'd say it brought a lot of people more together. Would that be something you would have noticed, Siobhan?
Definitely, because I suppose grief, what we've experienced is that grief is a journey, and that people journey it in different ways and at different rates on their own, but there are some shared parts of that journey too. And I suppose the willingness to travel it together and the compassion, the shared compassion for one another, that you're not all going to be at the same part at the same time, but that your motives and your support for one another is true, and that you can even share. I suppose what is a lot easier to do in some ways is to share the shared memories and to reflect on those shared memories. And even at times this allows you to bring a kind of a sense of humor into it, to remember the happy times, the fun times. So again, that's an attitude, and it's a choice, and it's not the most natural choice, but knowing that you can make it is definitely empowering.
And knowing you can make it, but knowing how that can make you feel,
Mm.
the choice in that. And what comes to my mind there is a quote from my favorite person of all time. You know who I'm going to talk about, Maya Angelou. And she says, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And when I think of people in my life who have made me feel special, and I don't know if you noticed, Siobhan, I'm wearing the earrings I'm wearing today. These were given to me by my Auntie Doreen, who actually sadly passed away last week from COVID. But I'm so grateful for her. And when I was in the Toastmasters contest last year in Norwich, I wore these.
Mm.
But, that's my little thing I'm grateful for today. It's how did I even think of that today? I'm
Mm.
grateful that I have those. I'm grateful for the memories from her. That's, it's a loss, but I'm so grateful for the time I spent with her.
That's lovely, Eileen. And again, condolences
Thank you.
on your loss. But I think there's a very important message there as well, because somebody told me once that when you're expressing gratitude, it's impossible to be grateful and worried, or grateful and upset at the same time.
Yeah,
So even when we are overcome with some negative emotions that are completely understandable at this time, taking the time, that time of response, to deliberately choose gratitude will change how we feel. And
absolutely. Yeah, that's so
yeah,
lovely. And even like you were talking about the loss you had in the school, and I think of the loss of my aunt, and totally different ages. But it's another Maya Angelou quote, and she talks about life isn't measured by the number of breaths we take, but the moments that take our breath away. And there are those moments.
mm, mm,
And
mm.
it's looking at them, it's embracing them, it's treasuring them. I just say sometimes it's bottling up those moments,
Yeah,
bottling them. Like you can metaphorically bottle up a special moment, put it in your pocket. And when you're having a day or a morning that you're struggling, to put your hand into your pocket and feel that. You have the power to do that, to bring back that lovely feeling, that special moment.
yeah, yeah.
It's another
So
little tool. Yeah.
gratitude is definitely the best attitude. And while some things it's impossible to say thank you for them, there's always something in every situation to be grateful for. That's been my experience. Always has been, always will be.
Lovely. And on that note, a lovely note to finish on, I suppose, is that, and again with Maya Angelou, you alone are enough. You have nothing to prove to anybody. Be grateful for yourself. We're all wonderful people. We're all in this together, and recognize your wonderfulness today.
And can I just say something, just imparting,
Yeah.
Eileen? This time last year, everything was a little bit different, but I hadn't yet met you. And that's something that I am really grateful for. So you never know what great things are around the corner.
Thanks so much, Mom. That's a lovely thing to say, and I'm so grateful for meeting you too. And something you said there this morning. I'm Gemini, and you're what?
Aquarius,
Aquarius, and that.
they can have a very interesting, good relationship.
Oh, well, I'm grateful for that relationship today, Siobhan.
Compatible, I think is the word. Yeah. So have a lovely
Okay.
day.
Have a lovely day. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye bye.